to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my thought stroke rant of the day. Definitely a thought, this one. So there's loads of talk about players who are coming into the club. But last night, as I'm recording this, you'll probably see this in the morning, there was a post came out from one of our existing players who's been a topic of conversation for an outgoing transfer for some time now, who decided to post something quite intriguing, action. It's got a lot of tongues wagging, a lot of people wondering whether it was a goodbye message. We're going to get stuck right into this in a minute. You know exactly who I'm talking about. But just before we do, a little reminder, if you're new to the channel, you just checked us out for the first time, consider subscribing. We'd love you to come and join us. Even though the season's done, we've got loads of content, we've got transfer rumours, and also things that are popping out into the media just like this that we're going to jump on and have a quick chat with you guys about as well. So smash the button, come and join us. Loads of Newcastle United content for you to consume over the summer before it all kicks off again and we're a Champions League club. But let's get stuck into this then. So it seems like it could very well be, after 4 years, 124 appearances, 13 goals, 21 assists, that the enigma that is Alan Saint-Maximin could very well have played his last game for Newcastle United. So he posted something on his Instagram earlier on, which I'm going to pull up for you guys now, so you can have a little look to analyze it and see what you think about it. So you may have to make it bigger screen here, just have a little look and maybe just read through. I'm going to read through on my phone here because it's a lot easier for me to read than it is that screen. So Maximin said, I'll try and just run through this. He said, when I joined Newcastle United in 2019, nobody understood my choice. I always believed in this club. As soon as I stepped on the pitch, the fans directly adopted me. Since then, there's been highs and there's been lows. We were in the relegation zone, but I always believed in the team and trusted the project, even if it was hard to stay in the PL. I knew the club deserved much better, and we had to prove it. I gave everything on the pitch to keep the team at the highest level. I'm grateful that some people remember that. Little slide dig there, Maxi. Maybe he's watching some of our podcasts. When the club had been bought by the new owners, the fans finally got what they deserved. I want really to thank all of my best supporters for supporting and believing in me. It's because of you that I wake up every day more determined than ever. He does a little heart emoji there with his fingers. But even when people criticize, when it's fair, because sometimes the negative is beneficial to get up. He's put a rocket there. I'm not sure what that means because I'm old. I always try my best to help the club and in the best way possible, even by playing injured, which is definitely true because he's wrapped in that many bandages. He looks like Mumra from the Thundercats. This year has been one of the most difficult years emotionally. You're not able to know that as I keep my personal things to myself, but I lost some very important people, and that's nothing compared to all the things that have happened in my life this year. But I always try to be present on the pitch and give everything. I'm so proud of the team that we are now have achieved the CL, obviously Champions League. I'm now entering a turning point in my career, and I will give everything until the end to achieve my dreams. It's often said that human beings forget quickly, but me, I won't be able to forget everyone that love for me, who I am, and believe in me in my difficult moments. It's in these hard situations that we see the real supporters. Thanks for everyone for the support. Whatever happens, I will always give everything when I have the chance to step onto the pitch. Thank God for everything. So it's quite a deep, meaningful post that by Maxi, to be fair. I mean, he is calling out some supporters for having a bit of a go. And we've had some shit in the comments, some of the things we said about Maxi. We're just going to get this out there. In the 4 years Alan Saint-Maximin's been here, he has been at times a phenomenal footballer. I think under the Steve Bruce years, he carried this team. He was 100% the outlet for this team. He was one of the only reasons people even believed that this club could still be a Premier League club, never mind a Champions League club. So for that, he deserves all the plaudits that he gets. There has been moments, though, where he has been frustrated and he has rolled around. He has had temper tantrums. He's not quite been as disciplined as we would have liked him to have been, or the manager certainly wouldn't like him to have been, which is possibly why he's got to this turning point, as he rightly says, in his career, but potentially he's been told that he's not part of the plans going forward. This is going to be a really busy summer for Newcastle United. There's going to be a lot of players, I'm sure, coming to this football club, and we are going to go up levels and levels and levels. Now, saying that, I'm going to be fair here, because I know the Maxi fangirls will be in the comments giving me loads of abuse. Maxi is a brilliant player on his day, right? But there's not enough days. And that's been the same thing you would have said about Hatem Ben Arfa. Arguably Robert was back end of his career, a little bit of Ginola. Ginola and Robert, were playing in much better Newcastle United sides than Ben Arfa and Ben Maximin have had the pleasure of playing in. So it's unfair to judge them for them kind of fairly. But these kind of mercurial Frenchmen have always had this little element about them where when they're brilliant, they're brilliant. Nobody can live with them. I think PK said on one of the podcasts, I've never seen a player do to Kyle Walker what Alan Saint-Maximin did to Kyle Walker at St James's Park when we drew 3-0 each from Man City. He was absolutely incredible that day. And he has days like that where he sends people for hot dogs. He posted a little highlight reel as well. And when he's on it, you don't want to mark him at all. I don't think any fullback in the world wants to mark him. And if you could just harness that and get that, even 2 or 3 times out of 4 games in a month, he would be one of the best players in the world. But you don't get it that consistent, and that's the truth. And I think possibly that's why Eddie Howe has maybe mentioned to him that he might be able to move on in the summer. I wish Maxi well. I'm sure every Newcastle United fan, whether he's frustrated the shit out of you, whether you adore him and you have a shrine to him in your bedroom and you're crying into your wine or your beer or whatever at the thought of him leaving. No matter what, we all got to respect what he's done when he's been at the club and the games he's helped us win. You think of the Wolves game earlier on the season, that volley out of nowhere. No other player on the pitch could have pulled that off, really. Obviously, as the season went on and Isak came back, Isak had that X factor that was able to win games out of nothing. But and Bruno can do it as well. But Maxi's been doing it as well for a long time for Newcastle. So we've got to give him the respect. No matter what happens, I think when Maxi he is going to leave with a lot of fans thanking him for what he's done, me included. I know I've been a bit of a critic of him over certainly since we were doing the podcast, because I know what a good player he can be, and it frustrates me when he doesn't turn up. But I think for me personally, my memories of Alan Saint-Maximin would be an unbelievable talent. That when he turned up, nobody could deal with him, but didn't turn up as much as I would have liked him to. And I think a lot of Newcastle fans are probably going to say the same thing, in the long term about Maxi. But it does open the question as to, is somebody else coming in? Is there been deals that have been done? The talk of Szoboszlai coming in, James Maddison isn't going away. Is it something like we've tied up a James Maddison deal and Maxi's going to move on? We've been told he's not going to play because Maddison's going to play. And this is maybe why he's jumped on social media and posted something out there just to tell the fans before the news breaks out. He is probably our most sellable asset. So in all fairness, that is probably why he's been allowed to move on. I wouldn't be surprised if there is takers for him, because if you can harness what this lad is capable of, you've got one of the most exciting, tricky wingers in the world, really, if you can harness that, But I'm not sure, and I've said this for a long time, I'm not sure he fits into Eddie Howe's plans in terms of being disciplined enough to keep that shape like Miggy does, like Murphy can do when he's there, like Gordon can do or will be told to do. Willock and Joe Linton, when they play out wide, they have that discipline. And I think Maxi just has that tendency to get caught up in the moment, the limelight, and just go break pattern and do whatever he needs to do to win the game. And that's because that's the kind of player that he is. And under Bruce, it was fine. It worked really well. But under Eddie Howe, it's not the kind of thing that he's looking for. But listen, I will be sad if Maxi goes. If we buy better quality to replace him, as fickle as football is, that's the way it goes. We wish him well. He'll move on to somebody else, and I'm sure they'll adore him as well for everything that he does for them. And they'll be frustrated with him sometimes as well. But if this is a goodbye from Alan Saint-Maximin, we don't know that for a fact, but we're reading into it. All the fans are reading into it. If it is a goodbye from Saint-Maximin, I think the memories of him will be fond by and large. There will be a little bit of frustration there, but I think what he's done in the 4 years that he's been here, he's done more good than bad. So, if he is to move on, thank you, Alan, for everything you've done, and good luck with your career in the future. And we're just obviously looking forward to see who comes in to take your place, and hopefully it'll be a player a level above, as I say, mention a Diaby or something like that, possibly. Or maybe a Szoboszlai or a Maddison, who knows? There's that many names being linked out there, and we're going to be all over as many of them as we can be in the summer. So yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. If you think that's a good buy from Maxi, and are you sad? Are you happy about it? Do you think it's time to go? Do you think it's a silly move to let him go? Let us know. We always like to hear from you, whether we agree or disagree with your point of view. We always try and engage you. We always try and drop a reply in there as much as we can. So we appreciate the time you take to type a comment. We always try and reply and come back to you as well. As I mentioned at the start, if this is the kind of thing you like, click subscribe, come and join us. If you can like the video, it really helps get it on YouTube, helps the channel grow. This is me done for another bit of Newcastle United news. Until the next time, there's so much happening, and we'll be back pretty soon, I'm sure, with some more videos. Have a good one, everybody. Catch you later. Au revoir.